Hello, my name is Ivan Wayne, in the third episode of Lantern, bringing you psychology articles in 10 minutes or less. And today I want to ask you, what do you think would be the strongest predictor of whether or not you can alter your behavior positively and exercise more and eat more fruits and vegetables? Do you think it is create new habits? Do you think it is find ways to motivate yourself? Or is it just having good intentions that you will eat better and exercise regularly in the coming weeks? Well, the authors of today's article ask people that very question for a sample of older adults over the age of 50. The article we're going to review today is Mind the Gap: Habit and Self-Determined Motivation Predict Health Behaviors in Middle-Aged and Older Adults, from Mullan and colleagues, published this year in 2021 from the British Journal of Health Psychology. There are varying theories of motivation, but the construct we're going to use today when looking at self-motivated, self-directed motivation is self-determination theory. And there are three key aspects to this that they ask the participants about. The first is competence. How effective does this person feel they are with dealing with the issue of eating healthy and exercising? Relatedness. How related are the daily activities of exercise and physical exertion to that person's everyday life? And autonomy. Does a person feel in control of how they eat? Does a person feel as if they are an agent of decision making when it comes to exercise and physical activity? So this three-piece model is going to be the lens through which we look at people's motivation in this article, all summarized within the self-determination theory. So this study asked people who were 50 years of age or older some questions. And these participants were asked about their habits for eating fruits and vegetables, how often they exercise, what kind of exercise they do, their opinions and the trends for their own self-directed motivation within that self-determination theory. And the participants were also asked what were their intentions of how much they were going to exercise in the next week and how many fruits and vegetables were they going to consume in the next 7 days. Now, this kind of raises a general awareness in participants' mind that they should be exercising a lot in the coming week and eating healthy, eating lots of fruits and vegetables. And then researchers followed up 1 week later and asked participants the same types of questions, and they wanted to see how did the behavior shake out. Did people's intentions in the coming week predict how much fruits and vegetables they were going to eat and how often they exercised? Or were the habits leading participants up to the time of the study and their own perspectives on their own motivation, was that going to be a more powerful predictor of their upcoming behavior? So how exactly did these authors measure the degree to which participants were self-reliant in their motivation? They asked some statements like these. Notice these statements are geared toward physical activity, but they also reworded these same exact questions to relate more so to dietary trends and getting the participants to reflect on their beliefs for their own consumption of fruits and vegetables. Each participant was asked to respond with not true, sometimes true, or very true for themselves in reaction to these statements and several more. So let's see what Mullan and colleagues found. Participants who claimed they intended to eat healthy and they intended to have a decent amount of exercise in the coming week, that actually correlated with an improvement in both behaviors. Some people claim that intent is everything. And this study would say that it's not everything, but it certainly does not hurt. Having the intention to eat healthy and having the intention to work out has the chance to bolster and improve the quality of your behavior in the near future. However, if you were a person that predicted someone's pre-existing habits or the way in which they look at their own motivation were going to more strongly predict their behavior in this study, you would be partially correct. The authors found that habits more strongly predicted the behavior, but only for the degree to which people exercised in that 1 week time period. However, when we shift and look at the way that people ate and how many fruits and vegetables they consumed, how highly people rated themselves as being self-determined in the motivation department, strongly predicted for how much fruits and vegetables they consumed in that 1 week time period. So intentions were good, but habits could be more powerful for exercise, And our level of motivation may be more impactful for how we choose to eat. Even in the face of having good intentions, even after telling strangers and promising to myself, I am going to be good this week. I'm going to eat well, I'm going to exercise. The inertia from our personality and previous situations leading up to today are still going to impact us no matter what our intentions are for today, tomorrow, and the next. Here's a graph perfectly displaying that difference between habits and intentions when it comes to physical activity. Notice the difference between people who did not have as high of expectations of themselves versus the people who had very high intentions of their behavior in the coming week. That difference was less than the difference between those who had strong habits and weak habits for the degree to which they exerted themselves in regular exercise leading up to the study. People's pre-existing habits more strongly accounted for how much physical activity they actually spent. This next figure perfectly illustrates the drastic difference in motivation style and how that very strongly predicted how much fruit and vegetables people would eat in the 1 week time period of the study. As I mentioned earlier, look at the difference between those who did not have very high intentions of themselves and those that did. You do see a visual difference, but look at just how dramatic the difference is for those who rated themselves as highly self-determined in the realm of motivation. These people align more closely with that self-determination theory and therefore held themselves to a higher degree of accountability when selecting how much fruit and vegetables they were going to eat during the study. Every single participant who signed up for this study knew that they should be exercising in the next 7 days. And every single person who signed up to be a participant in this study knew that how many fruits and vegetables they were eating was going to be observed and that they should be making healthy choices. But the results were not the same for every participant because the pre-existing habits that people came into the study with, the way they had been eating and the way they had been exercising for the months and years leading up to the start of this study, their pre-existing patterns controlled how much those intentions were able to alter their behavior in just a 1 week period. So while intent matters when you're trying to eat healthy, and while habits and the degree to which you are self-motivated matters when it comes to getting to the gym or getting outside for a run, when we use all three of these tools, we're more likely to succeed when it comes to being physically active and eating healthier. So for the participants in this study, who were all 50 years of age or older, their intentions helped somewhat. But additionally, how self-reliant they were for motivation and the habits they had already created for themselves also spoke volumes to how healthy they ate and how much they exercised when they knew they were being observed. So my name is Ivan Wayne, a Voyager. This has been the 3rd episode of Lantern, bringing you psychology articles in 10 minutes or less. I will see you soon.